Perennial rainfall can be said to be the most recurring natural disaster in Nigeria, with very devastating effects. The 2022 episode, according to NEMA, is worse than that experienced in 2012. The flooding, predicted to happen from high torrential rainfall, was however made worse by water released from Cameroon's Lagdo Dam. Can this environmental challenge have a solution? I am Blessing Aichu. This is Report on ITV.
Well, I believe before the flood, you need to destroy people's properties. The masses are aware. The people are aware. The government themselves are aware. I believe the government, certainly the government should wake up, at least, and have the heart of the people in their heart of heart, by taking proactive measures on how to rescue this set of people, especially those living by the bank of the river, that build are so close to the river. Most of the time when you heard that Cameroon open their dam or close their dam, something to happen. You see flood destroying people's properties, destroying lives and everything. I believe it's hard time our government should actually have the heart of people in their heart of heart and know what to do. I believe in developed world, their government will take proactive measures. Even though when something is going to take place, people have where to go to. So the government also should come up and say, okay, you people living within this vicinity, in case something of this nature occur, this is where you people should what? Run to for rescue. Go and relax there. Build a at least have a building that can occupy the people that at least that will take the people that is living within the vicinity. That's what the government need to do in order to help the people out. Because this time now, if you look at it in the tele, see the social media, at least you pity the people. Many have lost their lives. You will see vehicles being carried by the flood, bridges being collapsed. So many things are taking place. We are pleading on behalf of those people living by the bank of the river that the government should have them in their heart. Know what to do. Have a structure, have a building that these people can easily run to.
First and foremost, the flooding that has occurred in Nigeria, given its scope of impact and the widespread, should be given immediate emergency. We should begin to talk of emergency relief measures. NEMA should live up to its billing. It's not only to go and count losses. It should also be able to conduct rescue operations and rehabilitation. I think this is central. But more importantly, climate change is real, and what you are seeing, much precipitation of water, high torrential rainfall will continue. There will be extreme weather conditions, many of which humans will not be able to control. And therefore what is required are coping mechanisms that you can use to minimize or reduce the impact. One of the things we ought to do that was not clearly done is early warning signal. This was not done effectively. It ought to have been a campaign 2-3 days before, warn the people to evacuate. But of course in Nigeria, when you say evacuate to where? So the federal government, the state government, local government did not live up to expectation because they failed to anticipate, let alone take proactive action on rehabilitation and relocation. Having said that, we also heard about the dams that are open up in Cameroon, and many are putting their eyes there as the blame. Instead of putting blame on Cameroon, we should look inwards and see how we can also curtail the water by building reservoirs. Don't forget that this water is highly needed. Nigeria is a rain-fed agricultural country, and so this water will have its uses, and so we need to curtail them by building reservoirs. I think that will be very essential for us as a country.
We have to manage it. In order to manage it, we have to first of all look at where are the source of the flooding. Let's look at first and foremost. Let's look at the River Niger. River Niger, in order for it to convey water to the Atlantic Ocean, it must have to be dredged. And when you dredge it, now have a free flow of the water. No matter how the volume, it will have an easy entry to the Atlantic Ocean. The challenge you have now is that we have so many blockades in the River Niger, in the channel, thereby leading to it's looking for a way to empty its content and it will not enter the hinterland. That is what we are experiencing. But if we want to have a long-standing solution, we have to think of dredging the River Niger to empty its content easily in the Atlantic Ocean. Have some little a kind of increase in the volume of the rain and all that, but proper environmental management will help us. And you have a situation where people dump waste on the channels of waterways, and you have a problem. And people built on waterways. If you look at it, what is happening now around the River Niger environs is that because the water level was highly reduced, people now empty lands were not created, and people that took those lands and built on them. Now when you now have a reasonable volume now, it's not displacing all of them. And these are also part of it. We must ensure that we conduct ourselves in a way of proper environmental management. And all water channels must be properly maintained, not just only by the government, but the people. You must have sense of responsibility and ensure you take care of your environment. You clean them up and knit them up so that by the time you have rain, it will have a free flow. When there is no free flow, that is when you have incident where it enter people's residence and all that.
Coping mechanisms and lasting solutions to the challenge of perennial flooding have been suggested so far. The onus is now largely on the government, while the citizens are expected to play their role with an attitude change towards the environment, because behind me is a river in which lots of fields have been done. This is part of the problem. I am blessed.